What up, everyone? Back for another video. Long time no see. Been so busy with the holidays and then traveling, and then I was sick for a while, so can't even remember the last time I did a video. But we're back with a monthly review, and we're going to have another one right after this because I'm so behind. So this time around, we have 6 boxes, except for Loot Crate, because they still haven't shown up. We're still waiting on October's box. October. It is now well into January. It's like mid-January when I'm recording this of 2022, and we're still waiting for October's box of 2021. I don't know what the hell the problem is. I really don't. They keep saying shipping issues, but it's been like 4 months. Like, that's so much time. Why haven't the other boxes shown up? Is there just shipping delays on every item? There's so much time in there to figure out another item to put in and have gotten it to us. Why are they so dead set of that one item? They're going to wait a year before they send out a October box. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me, but they're not here, and they're not going to be for a while. Who the fuck knows why? So we have 6 boxes here, and I will go through them in no particular order. And a quick rundown if this is your first time on the channel. This video specifically is about monthly subscription boxes. I'll go through each one, talk a little bit about each thing in there, give you an overall value, and you can that'll hopefully help you decide which box is best for you. Now, I'll give each box an overall score, but don't get too caught up on that. That's just my personal opinion and how I feel about it, but that may not necessarily be the score that you would give it. So don't worry too much. That's why they're in no particular order, by the way. Don't worry too much about the order or the final score if that doesn't pertain to you. But you can still take interest in the value and the items I'll show for each box. And also, if you have any questions about anything in these boxes, about monthly subscription boxes, about collectibles, about anything at all, feel free to post a comment and I will answer any question that's posted. So feel free to pick my brain at any time you like. Also, if you see anything you like here, I always forget to mention it that, like, I keep a lot of stuff, but most of it gets given away or sold off or something like that. So if you have an interest, it couldn't hurt to ask if it's still available if you want to. No pressure. Anyway, so we have 6 boxes in no particular order, and now that we're done with that little spiel, let's get right into it. One of the monthly boxes we have. This shows up every month, Geek Fuel. So, let's start off with the items we get every time. We always get a t-shirt. Where is it? Here it is. So it is Christmas themed. There's a close-up. So this shirt will get the standard $12 to $15 value, as all shirts do. But I always give them individual scores as far as the quality. This one, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I do like it. Geek Fuel actually gives the nicest quality shirts of any monthly subscription box, and they're one of the few that I actually keep and wear. Most of the other ones get either sold or just kind of donated or given away because they're total crap. This company actually does decent quality shirts. I'm not a big fan of the color. I've always been weird about that kind of stuff. If they make shirts, I always prefer them in the neutral colors, the black, the white, the gray, like that. You really can't upset anyone with those colors. When you go into like colors like green and stuff like that, I just rarely ever am in the mood to wear a green shirt. So no big deal. At least they went with a more muted tone. At least it's not bright green. It's more of a soft green. So that makes it a little bit better. But that just makes it harder to wear. And obviously it's a Christmas shirt. So it's also much more difficult to wear that the rest of the year. Which is, I get it. It's coming during the holiday time. So I understand why they did that. But at the same time, it's also kind of a bummer. Because it's like, well, you can probably wear this once and then you're kind of done with it. But other than that, I like the design of it. I like it. It has all the Christmas movies, so it's still a good shirt. And I'll wear it at least once. So there's that. Next, we have our big item in here. And this is from Mondo. This is just like the Geeky Tikis we've seen in the past. I don't know if it's the exact same company, to be quite honest. It says Mondo Tikis, so it might be the same company, but very similar style. We've gotten Geeky Tikis from Loot Crate. They're essentially like pop culture characters that look like tikis, and they're mugs. So this one's no different. This one was the Lion King, and you had the choice of Scar or Simba. I got Simba, and then you had the option of 3 different colors here. And from the looks of it, it looks like a tan, a brown, and a black. So I got the little X next to the black one. So I thought, oh, that's cool. I don't mind that. I prefer the color black anyway. But then I opened it up, and it is not black at all. It is blue. Very, very navy blue. And now this is kind of weird because that's such an odd color, first of all. Obviously, it's supposed to look like a tiki, so the browns make sense. The black also makes sense because it kind of looks like onyx, like an onyx sculpture. But blue, this makes no sense. Why would they have picked blue? This doesn't look like a tiki. I've never seen any blue tiki, so it's a very, very odd color. So wasn't a fan of that specific color, but no big deal. As far as the tiki's concerned, it's got some nice detail. Here, I'll give you a close-up. So as you can see on the back, it actually has a cool design too. So it's not just Simba. On the back, it has Timon and Pumbaa and Rafiki. I'm not sure who's on the back of the Scar one. I'm assuming the hyenas or something like that. But that's cool. They didn't just do one character. They had the whole plethora of them on the back. So I like the idea and the concept behind it, and it's well done and all. Not a fan of the color, but we've gotten so many of these in the past, and I've just never once cared about them, because why tikis, first of all? And there's tons of them. There are literally hundreds. Again, I'm not sure if it's the same company that's making them, but some company is, and they make just hundreds and hundreds of them, and they're hard to sell, and they're hard to use because they're such a weird shape, and it's just, again, why tikis? Why did these characters need to be tikis? It's such an odd choice, but, you know, well done. As far as value on that, they say a $50 value, and I looked online and checked around, and no one's selling it for less than $50. But here's the problem with that. No one's buying it for that price either. So that's something important that people need to realize when they look up the value of something. Not just what it's listed at, but is it actually selling? Are people paying that price, and people are not? Because, personally, I don't think that's worth $50. The problem is, with Geek Fuel, they've been putting their values on there, which I guess is smart from their business standpoint. But now, when people want to sell it, they think, oh, I don't know how much it's worth. Oh, it says 50, it must be 50. So no one's listing it for less than 50, and nobody wants to pay 50, so therefore it's not selling. So if they didn't put these prices on there, people would just put them in auctions, and then we get a more clear picture of what things are worth, because we'd have an exact dollar amount of what people are willing to pay for that. So as far as value, I have to give it a $50 value because I have no other information to base it off of, because not a single one has sold anywhere from what I've seen. And if I personally just had to throw out a number, I wouldn't pay more than $30 for that. And that's given if I really like The Lion King and I really like Simba, I'd pay $30 for that. If I didn't, which I kind of don't, much less than that. So I really don't think it's worth $50, but I have no choice but to give it a $50 value. So there's the long-winded explanation on that. All right, other items in there. Pretty much just one more. We got a Pin Pals, and this is of Turbo Man from Jingle All the Way. Sorry, tripping over my words. So I definitely don't mind this company. They've been arriving damaged a little bit, which, you know, it happens. But I like that they come in their own individual little packaging too. So if you don't have a pin board, you can actually set it up on display. So I like that. And they always get decent value. This one gets, it's like a $10 value, but they're around that like $10, $12, sometimes $15 range. So I don't mind that at all. And then our fourth item in here, we got some stickers, which, who cares? They're just of Nightmare Before Christmas. They're called gift tags that you're supposed to put on gifts, I guess, and write on them. So that's all the items in the box. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It feels like they're missing items. Every month for the last like 3 or 4 months, they've had much less items than they normally do. I feel like boxes should have around 5. 4 is acceptable. 5 I think should be the goal. This one has technically 3 because on their little description card they put the stickers as a bonus. So that's just a bonus item because they feel like it's not really worth anything, and I don't either. So technically you got 3 items in there, which just doesn't seem like enough. Although they did value that mug at a pretty high price, but if no one's buying it, it's not worth that. That being said, altogether on the low end, this value is $73, on the high end, $76. This is roughly a $30 box, right around that range, maybe a little bit less, depending on where you live and the shipping and the taxes and all that business. So right around a $30 box. So on paper, it seems like this one's really good, but again, let me point back to the mug. We don't really know the value on that. And if you don't like it, which I personally don't, I'm going to try to sell it, but I don't know what I'm going to get for it. It's not going to be 50. No one wants to pay 50 bucks for that. So it's tough to say what that value really is. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because although the mug wasn't my personal preference, it might have been for someone else. The shirt was a good quality. I like the pin. Nobody gives a shit about the stickers. I gave that a dollar value, by the way, just for fuck's sake. And so I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 because I don't think when you figure out what this would be worth, I don't think you're quite getting double the value, but you know, it was still a good choice nonetheless. So 6 out of 10 for Geek Fuel. Throw all this shit back in there. Alright, there's that. Next, we got Zobie, and I got their pop culture box. Alright, first off, we got a shirt. And this supposedly is from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't think I've ever actually watched that movie all the way through, but it's a really good movie, so it's a good reference. I appreciate that. So it'll get the standard $12 to $15 value. As far as a score on this shirt, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10 for multiple reasons. This is about as crappy quality as you're going to get in monthly subscription boxes. Geek Fuel is the best. Zobie is the worst. They put it on the absolute cheapest branded shirts that are just like really tough and gritty and itchy, and they made it in this like awful, very bright red color. It's like, who the fuck wants to wear that with this bright red and yellow lettering? Like, if you want to be Santa Claus on his day off, sure, wear this shirt. For the rest of the world, nobody wants to wear that. And also the design quality on it is just nothing. It's literally just the words and the outline of a car. Like, they really couldn't have put any more design quality into it. They couldn't have put like characters from the movie or something like that. So time and time again, Zobie puts shirts in there. Why, I don't know. And they're always really crappy. They're referencing movies that I enjoy, so they're good references, but the shirts themselves are so shitty. They're poor in quality, they're poor in designs, nothing really positive to say about it, but there's no errors on it. So that's why it'll get a 2 out of 10. But again, that's not saying much. So that's the score, 2 out of 10. Next, we got a signature. This I was impressed about. This, we got a signature from John Cusack. I was pretty blown away by that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a John Cusack fan. But I always thought he was pretty famous. I know a lot of movies he's been in. One of my favorite movies of all time was High Fidelity. So maybe I'm just a fan because I like that movie so much. But I thought that's a pretty big deal. Like, that seems like a pretty big name. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you agree or if maybe it's just a generational thing and this modern generation doesn't know who that is. Because he hasn't done any huge movies in quite a while, but I'm pretty impressed by that. So I'm super psyched to get John Cusack. Like, that's pretty amazing to me. As far as the value on that, it'll get a $25 to $30 value, which is pretty standard. You'll see that a lot from Zobie and from BAM. Most of the autographs are going to be in that $20 to $30 range. The voiceover actors are usually $20 to $25, and the actual actors are usually $25 to $30. I thought this was going to go for a lot more, because I thought he was a big deal, but I was wrong. Still going for that standard $25 to $30 value, so right on the money with that. And I do appreciate that they gave a description card, by the way. It's nice, but this is literally just like a piece of printer paper. So it's, I mean, I'd rather have it than not. So I'm thankful that it's in there. Don't get me wrong. I like that they put description cards, but maybe put a little nicer cardstock or something just to make your box seem less shitty. I don't know. That's just me. Next, we got our prop replica. And this is a key from The Fifth Element. So there it is. So if you've seen the movie, it looks pretty spot on. I'll see if I can get it close up. It's kind of hard to see because it's so shiny, but you know, it does look very similar to the key that was used in the movie. The only problem I have with this is that, like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, there's no display option available. I really wish they would have spent an extra $1 or $2 and put some kind of plastic, just little sphere to poke it into. That way you could put it on display, or going above and beyond, like a little plastic case, like a clear case to put in, something like that, because I don't know what to do with this. I could go out and buy my own case for like $30, and then again, it would just like lay in there. But still, like, I guess you could just like lay it, but it just looks so lame just sitting on its own. So I appreciate that they made something look realistic, but they really should explore the options, the display options, because I don't really know what to do with that. And then as far as the value on that, $10 to $15. There are a lot of people that are asking much higher prices for that, but nobody wants to pay that because, again, how are you going to display it? And the last item, we got a pin. Now, this was from Elf, and you got the choice of Buddy or his girlfriend, whose name I forget, which, you know, the Buddy one looks kind of like him, but this one looks nothing like the girl from the movie, Zooey Deschanel. I'm assuming that's who's supposed to look like. Looks nothing like her, and honestly, looks kind of creepy. This is very creepy looking. So I'm personally not a fan of this, but, you know, at least it's a good size pin, and at least it's a limited edition, but the value on this, depending on which character you got, is $10 to $15. So $10 for this, $15 for Buddy. Again, wasn't a big fan of that either. So that brings our value on the low end, 57, on the high end, 75. So it kind of depends on where you value these things, on sentimental value or monetary value. Me personally, I go more off monetary value. And the only thing I really liked in here was the signature. But I really liked it. I love this. Everything in here, I'm going to take a hard pass on. Like, I like the movies. I love all these movies. I love Elf. I love Fifth Element. Great movies. But horrible depiction on the pin. And bad presentation on the key. And the shirt was absolute shit. So everything else, I'm not even sure I can sell. I might just throw away because I just don't know what to do with it. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. And for reference, this box ends up being about $45. Again, depending on where you live, state taxes, all that shit, around $45. So nowhere near double the value, even on the high end, not even close to it. So you're barely getting what you paid for, a little bit more, and that's if you loved everything in there, which I don't think anyone would. So for that reason, it's getting a 4 out of 10. And this box has been recommended to me so many times, and I'm still just not seeing it. Some of the signatures we've gotten are pretty great. Other than that, the items in there have been very mediocre, if not crappy. So I'm still not seeing what the hype is about Zobie, but maybe it's just my bad luck. Maybe I need to try some other boxes. Who knows? Alrighty, getting thirsty. Next, Marvel Collector Corps. Yum. Alrighty, we get the same stuff pretty much every box. We got a shirt. It's in the plastic. Sorry, I'm not going to take it out, but I'll be showing a picture of the actual shirt so you'll get an idea of it. Nothing special about it. It gets the standard $12 to $15 value. As far as the score on the shirt, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because I'm just very over this style of shirt. I wish so much that they would just do regular comic style shirts. I wish so much. I know they're never going to. They used to. When the box first started, they did regular comic style shirts. But now it's all pop figure shirts. And I have just too many pop tees as it is. And every time I see them, I'm just like, ugh, so lackluster. Also, I wish these would come out before the movie. Then I actually would wear the shirt. Because I would have worn that to the premiere. That's the one time I would have worn this shirt. I don't think I'm going to wear it any other time. So I wish they'd come out before the movie. So I really don't know what to do with the shirt. Very hard to sell these pop tees because they're just flooding the market. They're all over the place. And honestly, 5 out of 10 I think is a very generous score because I'm just so over those stupid shirts. Next, we got a pin of the little symbol from Eternals. Nothing special there. $7 to $8 value. We got a decal of Thena. Which again, it's just a sticker. But, you know, they're actually nice decals. So this actually gets a $5 value if you feel like you would use that. Then we got 2 pop figures, as we always do. And again, these are just very lackluster. Whew. So first, we got Kingo. And there's nothing really special about him. I don't know why they can't do more interesting poses. Every time we get this box, it's just a figure just like standing there in the classic pop pose. And it's like, you couldn't have come up with anything more interesting than that? Some kind of action pose? Like, it just seems so boring. And I feel like they're just not putting effort into this box anymore. So Kingo gets around a $15 value. If you wanted to wait for an auction, you could probably get it a little cheaper. But if you wanted to buy it now, it might be like a few dollars more than that. But right around 15 bucks. Then we got Icarus. Again, nothing special about him, just kind of standing there. He is a more popular character, so his value is around $20. So, that was all the items in it. Very common, very expected stuff. So, on the low end, $59. On the high end, $63. So, right around that $60 value. And for a $30 box, you are getting double the value. And it is all exclusive stuff. So, that is all good things. So, it's not a bad box by any means. It's still good. I just wish they'd put a little more thought into it. Do some more interesting poses on the pop figures. Switch it up with the shirt designs every once in a while. So it's not bad stuff. So obviously you're not getting this box if you're not a Funko fan. But for that reason, I'm actually giving it a high score. It's going to get a 7 out of 10. You did get double your value. It is all exclusive stuff. It is from a very specific movie, so you know what's coming, what characters to expect. And it is all Funko stuff, which is very collectible. So I personally am often underwhelmed by this, but I think the right market, the right people picking this, I think they would really enjoy it. I think if, like I said, if you're a fan of Funko and you're a fan of Eternals, this would be perfect for you, and you would have gotten all exclusive stuff, and it's good value. So 7 out of 10. I try to be a little unbiased at times. That'll be the score on that one. Boom. Alrighty, moving right along. Next, the BAM box. I got the BAM Geek box, I think they're calling it, or Pop Culture, one of those. And here's all the stuff. So, let's start off with the number one item, the autograph. And this was by Teddy Sears. So, I thought this was weird because I could have swore we got a Zoom autograph from BAM before, and I looked it up, and we did. It was like 2 years ago, a long time ago. We also got a Zoom autograph, but it was by a different person. So I did some research and figured it out. The original one was, I'm drawing a blank on the name. It was the guy who played Candyman. Anyway, that was the voice actor of Zoom, and this was the in-suit, or just the physical actor of Zoom. So there was two people, the voice and the actor. Now we have both, or at least I do. I've had BAM for a very long time. So I thought that was cool. I don't mind repeat characters as long as it's different aspects of them. So voice actor, actual actor, Teddy Sears, and drawing a blank on the other name. I know it's on the tip of my tongue, and as soon as I stop the video, I'm going to remember it. Nope, it's not coming to me. But he played Candyman in the movie, so that was cool too. Anyway, that's the autograph, and this will get right around the price I said before, $25 to $30. Pretty standard in that range. Next, we got artwork. So this is of Eternals, but this is of the comic book Eternals. So the guy is Carl Adder, something like that. But, you know, at least they... Sorry, screensaver. At least this time around, they did actually get a comic book artist. I looked him up. He is actually a comic book artist. Not particularly famous or anything like that, but he is an actual artist. So I appreciate that they're doing that. I do appreciate that. And I feel like they are watching my videos because they do take my advice a lot. So I think that's good. And I think that's good that they're trying, but still not a big fan of the whole Artist Alley thing. I think they should kind of start phasing it out, maybe try some other things. I like the prop replicas, but maybe just add in a collectible or something like that, because these hold very little value. Even on the rare chance they do get real comic book artists, they're not super famous ones. So this gets a $10 to $15 value, but honestly, I don't even know if you'd be able to get that. That's the only listing I found was at that price. That's probably what I'd price it at too, but I don't know if there's a big market for these, so you'd probably have a pretty rough time selling that if you didn't like it and wanted to sell it. So there's that. Next, our prop replica. Got a Batarang. So this we've actually gotten, I'm pretty sure we got from BAM before. We got a Batarang. We also got the Robin one from a few months ago. So those can go side by side. And it's actually metal, so I like that they actually put some real material in there and just didn't give you a plastic one. So that's cool. I don't mind that at all. I don't know if this looks like, I'm not sure which one they're replicating. There's so many different Batarangs, but I assume it looks like the one they were going for. But, you know, it feels real. It's very nice. I like that. That's actually going to get a $25 value. So, a lot higher than I thought, but good quality. Sure, why not? Then we got our little pin. And I think this is what makes me think that BAM's listening to me, because from what I can tell from the description card, they're not doing a rare pin anymore. Or at least not like they were before, where it was 1 common and 4 rares. So I think they are. I always assume they watch my videos, but I think they are, because most of the advice I've given over the past few months have been implemented here. So I appreciate that. So hi, BAMBox, if you're watching. Hey, it's me. So I do think they listen to me sometimes, so that's good. I appreciate that, because I do give good advice. So as far as I can tell, unless there's just not putting it on here anymore, they didn't do a crazy rare pin. I could be wrong, because there is one black and white variant, so they may have just not printed it on there. That may be the rare one. But even if that's the case, that's 1 rare one versus 3 commons. And that's what I've been saying they should do. I don't mind that they have a rare one in there, because it makes certain people feel special. I don't mind that. But before, it was like all rares and one common. So if you wanted to collect the set, like, good fucking luck. Like, it just sucked. So from what I can see here and what I've come to understand, it's either all common or 3 common and 1 rare, which I think that's much, much better. Because these pins are very nice and very collectible, but we don't want to make it impossible for people to collect them. But the pin is going to get an $8 to $12 value. Again, varies depending on which character it is. And I didn't see that black and white one for sale. I assume that's a little bit rare, but not on there, so I can't say much about it. Then we got our artist card, which again, I don't think these are worth anything, but I always am generous and give it a $5 value, but the range is going to be 0 to 5 because it just kind of depends. Sometimes they get someone that's a good artist that you can sell it for like $5, but most of the time it's not worth anything. Nobody wants to pay any price for it, so 0 to $5 on the card. Which again, nothing wrong with having it in there, but I just hope they don't expect any kind of value from it. I hope it's just like a fun extra. So that being said, on the low end, 68. On the high end, 87. So just like Zobie, this is right around a $45 box, and value-wise, pretty similar to it. But I like this stuff a lot better. Their autograph wasn't by nearly as famous a person, but in general, I like these things a lot better. I like their prop replica way better, like their pins way better, like their autographs, you know, and John Cusack, and the Artist Alley thing, I've been saying this for a long time. I think they should try and phase that out. Not that I have anything against it. I really appreciate that they've always gone through the trouble to have artwork that's signed and numbered. But it's just getting to the point where there's no way they can get famous artists in here every month or even like every year. So if they want to put it in every once in a while when they finally get like a really good artist and they want to put in a signed numbered print, sure, why not? Why not throw it in there? But I don't think they need to do it every single month. I don't think it needs to be a common thing. The autograph, sure. I don't mind that every month. It's always pretty good. I like that. But the Artist Alley stuff is just rarely ever even decent, let alone something really amazing. So from now on, honestly, I don't think they even need to put something exclusive. Just put some kind of collectible. They usually have a general theme. Put just like a random toy in there or something like that, some collectible, maybe a Funko product or something like that. I think that would, even if it's not exclusive or rare, I think that'd be more enjoyable than a lot of these artist prints. But that's just me. If you guys are big fans of the artwork, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts about it. If you're a huge fan of the artwork, let me know, because I'm just curious about that. Are there people that are a big fan of the artwork, that collect all of them, that go online and buy the ones they miss? Are there people like that, or are they like me, where it's just like, meh? So once again, I think they should phase that out and just explore some different options in there and try some other things. So for those reasons, I'm going to give this box a 6.5 out of 10. I think it was good stuff. The value's kind of rough. It's more than you paid for. Nowhere near double, but it was good quality stuff for the most part. I will end up keeping most of this stuff, so I think they did a good job, but I still do feel like there's some room for improvement, if you are watching. But still love the box. I will keep it around for a very long time. Speaking of Bambox, I got their newest box. This is the cartoon box. Let me see if I can set this up so it's visible. And for some reason, they're going with this super skinny box now. And it is just for the cartoon box. I'm not really sure why. That kind of limits the things they can put in, but, you know, not a big deal. All right, so let's look at this stuff. So this is the first one they sent out in November, by the way, November's boxes. So we got an autograph. The name is... Oh, I can't read the name. But she was the voice actor of the Mayor McDaniels. April Stewart's the name. So she's actually pretty well known. I looked at the value on this one, and I assumed it would be right in that $20 to $30 range they always are. On the low end, $30 and $40 going on up. Some people paid like $80 or $90 for this autograph, that's kind of crazy. But that's really cool, though. I'm excited for it. I was psyched to just have the voice of the mayor, but apparently she does a whole bunch of stuff. They have her description card in here. And she's done various voices on South Park, like Cartman's mom, Wendy, the mayor, Kenny's mom, the principal, Stan's mom too, all the moms for some reason. And she was also did work on Legend of Korra and Magic the Gathering. So a ton of stuff. So I'm not too surprised that it's a more expensive print. But here's some advice I will give. So you have all these voice actors and you get in the box you get a different picture of a different character. Some people got Wendy, some people got one of the moms, I got the mayor. I really wish they would do a collection of all the voices, because that's what I'm most interested in. If I'm ever to buy an autograph, which is very rare that I'd actually pay money, but when I do, I don't want just one character. Like, when it's just the actor, yeah, sure, the actor's face, fine. But when it's a voiceover actor, I want a picture of all the voices they do. And no one ever does that, and I don't know why. I don't think it's a property thing, but if you're listening, Bandbox, what I would do is make your own print, you don't have to take one from the show, of all the characters they do, or as many as you can legally put on there, and then have them sign that. That would be so much better, so much more impactful if you saw all the characters like you have in this card. Then, when people come over to my house, they're like, whoa, that actor did all those voices, that's so cool, versus like, oh yeah, I've seen South Park, I remember that one person. So, honestly, I try to remember myself all the voices they do and explain it to when people see it, but I can't remember. So I really wish they would go to the trouble to make their own 8x10, edit it together, and make it in a way so they don't have to pay royalties or something like that, and then have them sign that, and that would be significantly better, higher in value, all around, just would be a better thing. But that's just my opinion. Either way, $30 to $40 value, April Stewart. Really happy about that, and that's why I like this cartoon box, because the autographs I was usually most excited about were the voiceover actors. I don't know any of them by name, but I know those characters, and I love those characters. I have so many voice actor autographs that I've gotten from BAM and from other companies. Love them to death. Because honestly, the actors they get are fine, but they're usually not anyone crazy. But, you know, the voice actors are much more recognizable by their character, so I think that's great. Then we got an item I assume we will be getting in every box, an animation cell. Which this I'm super psyched about too, because I love these. I think these are great, because personally it's just like a piece of history. This actual cell right here, you can go watch that cartoon and pause the cartoon and be like, hey, I own that. I own that piece right there. It's right here in my house. I think that's really cool. That's just really special to me. And they put it on some nice cardstock to make sure it didn't get damaged, which I appreciate. And they put this nice certificate of authenticity, which I'm kind of surprised they went through the trouble to do. Usually they get the standard BAM box black one, but they actually went through the trouble to give like a nice certificate, which is, again, appreciated. Now about the cell itself. So supposedly they were all from Street Fighter, and from what I can see, I just got shit luck on this one because I don't know who this is. I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't think it's a main character by any means. The only blonde girl I knew from Street Fighter was Cammy, but I don't think that's her, so I think I just got some rando. And again, my advice would be, like, you know, filter out the cells a little bit. I'm sure they do to an extent, so where they don't just have, like, a foot or something like that. They try to give faces, which I appreciate, but maybe try to stick to the main characters, because I don't know who this is. I really love cells, but I don't think I'm going to keep this one because I have no clue who it is. If I didn't read the card, I would have no idea this even was Street Fighter. So maybe the filtering process should be a little more strict. That's the only complaint I have about that. Other than that, I'm super happy to be getting animation cells. Again, it's something I have a ton of in my house. I love them to death, so super psyched about that. All right, next. Got our Artist Alley, which I think Bandbox is just always going to do. And again, from an artist that was not super well known. These are real artists. They usually have like Pinterest and little Tinder accounts where they sell artwork. So they're actual professionals, which is appreciated. But again, no one I've heard of, no one that's in my realm. So this is going to get a $10 to $12 value, which is pretty standard for these. But again, I don't know if you'd really be able to sell this because they're not well enough known to where someone's really going to seek this out. But you know, being fair, $10 to $12. Now the pins. If you got this box, you realize they actually didn't put the pins in this month, but it's okay. They gave a note, and I just happened to have gotten the next month's box, so I actually did get the pins. So, something funny about this, they only had 2 options in there, and they actually gave both options, which is both good and also kind of weird, and that raises a lot of questions for me that I'm kind of curious about. One, why they only did 2 pins? Like, it's known far and wide that Bandbox has like 5 and 6, like at least 4 pins for every box that are options. And usually they just give 1, which is fine, but they have tons of options of characters you can get. So I don't know if this had to do with the lateness of it, that maybe they didn't have time to make more characters, But it seems odd that we only got Tina and oh fuck, so bad with names. You know who I'm talking about. But we didn't get like Bob or Jean or the mom. Like it seems very odd that they would leave out other main characters. Like not a big deal. It's not bad, but I don't know. It's very strange to me. So maybe the reason they couldn't do more characters had to do with why the pins were late, and maybe the reason we got 2 pins was their way of saying sorry we didn't put them in. Like I don't know, but I'm not going to complain because I'm psyched I got 2 pins. So no complaints there, but I'm pretty sure everyone did because I was looking online and they were being sold as the pair, so I'm pretty sure everyone got them. So for whatever reason, fine, but then I'll get a $15 to $20 value because we got 2 and got 2 pins, and you know, they're always very nice quality, so I always appreciate that, but yeah, I'm so curious about that. So hopefully they do more pins in the future and more options, but again, not a big deal there. So that was all the items in here. Again, I feel like it could use one more item, but you know, that's basically just them not putting the artist select card in there, which, you know, I'm fine not having that in there. No big deal there. So, sorry, I don't know why I took that out. So as far as the value, on the low end, 65, on the high end, 87. This costs the exact same amount as a regular BAM box. I think they've pretty much unified all the prices. They're all $35 plus shipping, which ends up being about $10 for me. So at 45, same as the regular BAM, same as Zobie, all around that same price. So low end 65, high end 87. Same with the other 2 boxes, nowhere near double the value. But I will say, I do feel like I personally got bad luck on the sell. When I was researching online, pretty much all the other sells were good. We're like cool characters. Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile were all the cool characters. I, for some reason, the one person in the world that got the one unrecognizable character. So I'm trying not to base it too much on that, more on what the general population got. And if I got those characters, even though I don't remember that cartoon at all, it's still, I would be so psyched about it, and I'd probably frame it up really nice. So I think the general person got a good idea of that. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because I'm very hopeful for this box. I think it has a lot of potential. I think it could use one more item. I know they can't really do prop replicas because it's cartoons, but I feel like they could put one other extra little trinket in there or something like that. So definitely has room for improvement, but I feel like they will. I feel like they will take my advice, hopefully, and I feel like that it will make this box a lot better. So I'm very hopeful for it, and I personally love this stuff. I love the autograph. I feel like I'm always going to love the autograph. I love the cell, except this one. And I feel like I'm always going to love the cell that shows up in there. I love those. So I think the cartoon box was a fantastic idea, and I think this is going to be a very good box. So I'm giving it a little bit higher score than I normally would because I do see the potential in it, and I am going to keep this around because I do want to see where it goes. So that's the reason it gets a little bit higher score than normal. But again, always feel free to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. But yeah, super psyched about that autograph. Got some good autographs this month. All right, moving right along. How are we doing on time? Not great. Okay. Last box, though. Then we're all done. Then you can not watch me for a month. All right, last box. The Pusheen box. And this one is always just blows my mind on the value these things get. So the company is Culturefly. They do tons of boxes, but honestly, most of them are not worth your time. They're not worth the value, except this one. This one just has crazy value. So I'll try to go through it really quickly. There's a ton of stuff. We got a shirt in here, Pusheen on it. So normally I give it a $12 to $15 value, but this is long sleeve, and I think that deserves more value. So I'm going to give it a $15 to $20 value. I personally don't think long sleeves should be worth that much more, but they really are. Anytime you go to a store, even the cheapest of stores, even if you go to like Target or something like that, you're not going to find long sleeves for less than $20. They're usually like $30. So I think it's only fair. They do give better quality shirts to give it a little bit more because it's not short sleeve. As far as a score on this, I give it like a like a 6 out of 10 because they are decent quality. They do a good job. They usually do nicer quality stuff like jackets. And one time they gave a shirt and it fit very well. So yeah, 6 out of 10. But $15 to $20 value on the shirt. Next, we got some super ultra cozy socks. I don't wear big socks, but I'm sure. Oh, it's got a little patch right there. I'm sure I can find someone who will. The girls love this kind of shit. But the value on this, 15 to 20. Again, they're very nice in quality, so I'm not super surprised by the value, but Pusheen is just so collectible, 15 to 20. Then we got a little plush toy. Try to give you a close-up. I don't know how well you can see it. It's Pusheen in a blanket holding the popcorn, so nothing super special, but value on that, also 15 to 20. Seeing a pattern. All right, then we got this big, massive blanket. I'm not going to unpack it right now. I'll be showing a picture of it, though. Nothing super special. Blanket, it's very soft, very good quality with Pusheen on there. And that gets a 30-plus value. The cheapest I could find that was $30, and it just kind of went up from there. And same thing is like, well, are people paying that? Yes, they are. People are buying it for much... Hopefully that's not cutting off my audio. Sorry, my screensaver keeps coming on. Apologies if it's messing with the audio. The blankets have been selling for much more than $30, actually. Much higher prices, but you can buy it for $30, so sucks for those people that paid more. But yeah, it gets at least a $30 value, if not much more. Then we got a salt shaker, which is... That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, sorry. I was trying to get the light off of it. A salt shaker. The only time in my life I've ever seen just a salt shaker. Why not a salt and pepper shaker? That's so weird. Obviously, they have the theme of like movies and popcorn and stuff, so it's supposed to be like a popcorn salt shaker. I get it, but at the same time, like, very, very weird to not give a salt and pepper shaker. Weird choice, but $12 to $15 value, so whatever. Then we got our little popcorn buckets. We got 2 of them. Very basic little popcorn buckets. It's got Pusheen eating popcorn on the front of it. Nothing super crazy. $15 to $20 value, though. And I'm not making these prices up. These prices are online, and people are paying these prices. Checklist, just a piece of paper with Pusheen on it. $8 to $10. 8 to 10. Then we got a vinyl figure. So this one... hopefully I'll be showing a better picture of it. I don't want to take the time to take it out of the box right now, but just Pusheen, laying in a blanket, watching TV. That is a $15 to $30 value. Why is it such a wide range? Because there are no listings available. I checked all over. I'm sure there's some site I didn't check that I'm not aware of, but not available anywhere for sale. They were, but they've all been purchased and they've all sold out. And they've sold anywhere between $15 and $30. So usually I go more towards the low end, but that's only if an item's still available. If it's completely sold out, who knows what the value is? Technically, you can charge whatever you want. I don't know if someone will pay that, but people over the past few months have paid somewhere between $15 and $30, so that's kind of the value. But I've rarely come across things where there's just none available, where people have listed them and they've all sold out. So that's the general theme of this box. It's a lot of weird, random stuff, but it is just so highly collectible. It's like Mickey with Disney. Anything with his face on it immediately just becomes valuable. So that brings our value. On the low end, $125. On the high end, $165. Good God, holy shit. The price difference there is like a whole separate box. But even on the low end, you are getting more than double your value. So this ends up being between $50 and $60. Again, location, state taxes, shipping, all that shit. Between $50 and $60. So even if you're paying that maximum $60 price, you're easily getting double the value on the low end. And that's with the figure that could be worth much more now since it's sold out. So this is crazy. Every month, this stuff has insane value with plenty of listings that people are paying for it, which I don't know why they don't just get the box. Like, that's so weird, but fantastic value. And everything in here is 100% exclusive. You cannot get it anywhere else. And of such a collectible character, it's crazy. Like, I'm always reluctant to ever give a 10 out of 10 because I just don't feel like anything's perfect. But I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 because this is about as close to perfect as you're ever going to get from a monthly subscription box. There's been few across all the years I've been doing it that even come close. This one does it. More than double the value. Very collectible stuff. Very specific niche stuff that, obviously. And the good thing is, it's a very specific character. All these other monthly subscription boxes give a very general theme, like horror, like comic, Or if you go Loot Crate, a lot of time their theme is just like fight. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what theme is that? They're just so broad and general. You have no idea what you're gonna get, what characters you're gonna get. Sometimes you know the general franchises, but that's about it. With a box like this, it's very specific. You would not get this if you didn't like that character. So if you're buying it and you don't like Pusheen, I'm sorry, you're an idiot. So that's the good news about it. You know exactly what to expect. You're going to get that fucking cat on everything in this box. So it's very specific. You know exactly what to expect. And fantastic value and all exclusive. Like, very impressive. I honestly don't know how they're pulling it off. I don't know how that company's not bankrupt. But, you know, again, I'll reiterate, from Culturefly, this has been the only one that seems that way. The other boxes are similar, where you get all exclusive stuff and it's interesting things, but just very low resale market because the quality's not great. But because Pusheen is such a simple character, it's so easy to make figures, it's so easy to print stuff on there, there's no detail at all involved. But there you go. I'm always blown away by this box and how much value it has, but it is what it is, 9 out of 10. So there's all the boxes, all 6 of them. So we should be getting another monthly review. I have more boxes right here. So the other monthly boxes, this one's quarterly, by the way. Pusheen is quarterly, but the other monthly ones, I got 2 BAMs, a Zobie is bi-monthly, and then Geek Fuel. So shorter video, but let me know your thoughts in the comments, anything you want to see. Hopefully I'll be doing more videos, but things are getting a little busy right now, so it may just be monthly subscription box videos for a while until I have some more time freed up. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and supporting. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll talk there. See you on the next video. Love you all. Peace.